From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Cannon. Coming up in the news for this Saturday, April 25, 2026. Man named in recent report as being sought by the police in Portland denies involvement in threats made against members of the force. The PMPYO rejects the NARA bill, calling for accountability and reform, but the youth arm of the Jamaica Labour Party G2K is defending the bill. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has issued a strong appeal to Jamaicans to reject the growing anti-vaccination or anti-vax sentiment. In news from the region, bus tickets, pension payments set to go digital in Trinidad and Tobago. On the international scene, Trump cancels a U.S. envoy's trip to Pakistan for talks on Iran war. And in sport, Arsenal beat Newcastle in Premier League action. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
A man named in a recent report as being sought by police in Portland is denying any involvement in threats made against members of the force. In a media statement issued Saturday, attorneys representing Marius Alonzo Davis say he has no knowledge of or connection to the allegations outlined in a report carried by our news center and other media outlets on April 24. The report indicated that Davis was being sought by lawmen in relation to alleged threats against police in the Portland division. The threat reportedly followed the fatal police shooting of two members of the Kingston-based Gully Gang in Portland this week. The Portland police raised the threat level in the parish to extreme in caution of any possible retaliation and called on Davis to surrender himself. But his attorney, Rodane Richardson, insists he is not affiliated with any criminal enterprise and was not in the vicinity of Port Antonio at the time of the reported incident. Richardson adds that his client maintains he is a law-abiding citizen who is now focused on earning an honest living as a poultry farmer. In a further update to our news center, his attorney says Davis has turned his life around and is currently rearing chickens and goats. The lawyer adds that since the police alert was issued, Davis has been facing challenges with his regular customers who are now reluctant to purchase his produce. The legal team says he is distancing himself from the allegations and intends to clear his name. Davis is expected to report to the Port Antonio station on Monday, April 27 in the company of his attorney to address the matter. His lawyers are also urging that any engagement with their client be conducted in keeping with the law and with full respect for his constitutional rights. We understand that an emergency situation unfolded at the Western Union along Shortwood Road in St. Andrew, and the police were called to the location. The police had instructed persons at the scene that the location was closed. We'll have more details on this story in subsequent newscasts. Generation 2000 G2K, the young professional affiliate of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, is defending the National Reconstruction Resilience Authority NARA bill as a necessary and responsible legislative response to the scale of Jamaica's reconstruction and resilience challenge. G2K President Sashana Lee Edwards said the bill reflects the kind of serious institutional thinking that Jamaica now requires in an era of increasing climate shocks, infrastructure vulnerability, and the growing public demand for timely delivery. She says NARA is not about bypassing accountability, it is about correcting a long-standing weakness in the Jamaican state. And she says that the administration is addressing the ability to move with sufficient speed and coordination when the national interest requires this. She noted that the bill has been the subject of intense commentary, but cautioned against reducing an important national measure to political slogans and superficial criticism. According to her, the legislation must be assessed on its actual provisions, not on exaggerated claims. The bill provides for accountability, transparency, and structure, and it provides for audits, reports, public visibility of projects, and a framework for implementations, she claimed. Meanwhile, the People's National Party Youth Organization PMPYO has rejected the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority bill in its current format while questioning its endorsement by Young Jamaica, the youth arm of the Jamaica Labour Party. According to a statement from the PMPYO, while the need for post-Hurricane Melissa reconstruction is urgent, good governance cannot be sacrificed for speed. It says the current NARA bill lacks essential checks and balances, creating an authority with sweeping powers over billions of dollars while stripping away the safeguards that protect public funds. The PMPYO further claims that Member of Parliament Peter Bunting rightly warned it is a blank check without guardrails. According to the youth arm of the opposition, the bill also indemnifies officials for actions taken in their roles, with taxpayers covering their legal fees, leaving the public exposed and without recourse. Meanwhile, the PMPYO says acknowledgement must be given to Government MP Marlene Malahoo Fort. Describing her action as a rare display of political courage, the PMPYO says she cut through party lines and told the executive to go back and rework the bill, exposing flaws in the proposed law and noting that it was not good practice for anyone to provide oversight duties to self. The Financial Investigations Division, FID, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU to strengthen cooperation in the fight against money laundering, terrorism, financing, fraud, and other financial crimes. The MOU was signed with the Revenue Protection Division, RPD. Under the agreement, both entities will provide each other with data and other material to support intelligence and investigative work, as well as share information on persons or entities of mutual interest. FID Chief Technical Director Dennis Chung says the partnership will play a key role in dismantling financial system.
This MOU strengthens an important working relationship between the FID and the Revenue Protection Department by establishing clear arrangements for information sharing, referrals, and coordinated action. It will certainly enhance the ability of both organizations to detect, investigate, and disrupt financial crimes that threaten government revenue and the integrity of Jamaica's financial system.
That's Dennis Chung, Chief Technical Director of the FID, and of course he said it would play a key role in dismantling financial crimes. Similar sentiments were shared by RPD Chief Technical Director Cranston Morgan.
The signing of this MOU represents another practical step forward in strengthening cooperation between the RPD and the FID. It provides a sound basis for timely information sharing, stronger coordination, and better use of institutional expertise in responding to revenue offenses and related financial crimes. The partnership is mutually beneficial and supports a broader national effort to safeguard the public purse and promote confidence in Jamaica's regulatory environment.
Cranston Morgan, Chief Technical Director of the RPD. There is a concern about the recent number of murders in New Kingston following 3 murders that took place this week. A resident posted on X that the matter is very concerning. Murders were recorded in the morning on Monday, Thursday, and Friday. In one of the incidents, the body of a man was found around 5 a.m. lying on the ground in a pool of blood with wounds to the head. A boulder was reportedly found beside his body. Another male was reportedly injured in an attack and rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, for treatment. The residents are hoping that the police will investigate the crimes and bring the situation under control. Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, NRSC, Dr. Lucian Jones, is bemoaning yesterday's crash in St. Mary that claimed 2 lives. As he noted, vigilance is needed to keep the number of road fatalities at a low level.
The crash which took place in St. Mary yesterday morning in broad daylight, and which resulted in the death of 2 passengers in the prime of life, one 47, the other 59, and which event brings to 81 the number of fatalities for 2026, serves to remind us that road fatalities constitute the second leading cause of violent death in our country, just behind homicides. And therefore, despite the welcome reduction, 30% less than 2025 to date, as a country, we have to remain eternally vigilant in ensuring that all hands are on deck to ensure safety on our roads.
The accident took place about 9:30 in the morning along the Boscobel Main Road in the vicinity of Beaches Boscobel's rear entrance, and it involved a white Toyota Probox and a grey Toyota Succeed. The possible causes of the collision were listed as improper overtaking, changing from one lane to another without due care, and misjudging the clearance and or the distance and speed. Dr. Jones is also warning passengers that they have a duty to protect themselves by wearing seatbelts.
This, as important as enforcement by the police, is to promote safe speeds. Drivers, whether in private motor cars or public passenger vehicles, have a duty to be extremely careful and responsible when overtaking another vehicle. Passengers have a duty to buckle up in the front and rear seats, and the state has a duty to ensure that the full measure of the new Road Traffic Act is rolled out so that the police have the tools to remove persistently errant drivers temporarily by way of the demerit point system. Too much is at stake. All lives matter. These crashes are all preventable. More lives can be saved if we all work together on this one.
Dr. Lucian Jones, Vice Chairman of the NRSC. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has issued a strong appeal to Jamaicans to reject the growing anti-vaccination or anti-vax sentiment, which he notes has intensified since the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking during the contract signing for the implementation of the Electronic Immunization Registry EIR project held at the Ministry's Emergency Operations Center Conference Room in New Kingston on April 17, Dr. Tufton noted that while the COVID-19 pandemic accelerated digital innovation, it also created a platform for the spread of misinformation. The minister emphasized that Jamaica's public health success is built on a foundation of safe, tried, tested, and peer-reviewed immunization programs. He cited the eradication and control of diseases such as polio as a prime example of how vaccines have historically safeguarded the nation against devastating health outcomes. Dr. Tufton acknowledged that while all medical procedures carry a baseline of minimal risk, the benefits of immunization overwhelmingly outweigh any potential drawbacks. The government of Jamaica will mark a historic milestone today, Saturday, April 25, at 9:30 p.m. when Niagara Falls will be illuminated in the black, green, and gold of the Jamaican flag in commemoration of the 60th anniversary of the Canada-Jamaica Farm Work Program. In a release from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, it was highlighted that the public can view the illumination live via 24/7 webcams, including Niagara Falls Live, Clifton Hill Live Cam, which capture evening illumination and activity. The release went on to state that live feeds provide real-time coverage of the falls and surrounding areas, allowing Jamaicans at home and abroad and across the diaspora to witness the tribute. The symbolic lighting forms part of a wider program of commemorative activities honoring 6 decades of partnership between Jamaica and Canada under the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program, which began in 1966 with 264 Jamaican workers. The program now provides opportunities for more than 9,000 workers annually. Meanwhile, speaking on behalf of the Jamaican government, Minister of Labour and Social Security, Colonel Charles Jr., is expressing appreciation for the long-standing relationship between both countries. He says the government and people of Jamaica extend sincere appreciation to the government and people of Canada for a partnership that has stood the test of time. He also states that for 60 years, the relationship has nurtured opportunities, sustained livelihoods, and strengthened the bonds between the nations. He adds, the impact of the program is not distant or abstract. It is felt in homes across Jamaica. It is seen in children who are better provided for, in families that have found stability, and in communities that have been built and sustained through hard work and sacrifice. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says several towns along Jamaica's south coast and adjoining areas are being positioned to capitalize on the rising demand for educational and knowledge-based travel. He made the disclosure during a visit to the Appleton Estate Rum Tour in St. Elizabeth on Thursday as part of the South Coast Confidence Tour. Mr. Bartlett noted that destinations such as Mandeville and Manchester are already demonstrating strong potential to anchor this emerging segment of Jamaica's tourism. To news now from the region, bus tickets and pension grants in Trinidad and Tobago are set to go digital as the government moves to modernize public services and eliminate paper-based systems. In a major step towards a more connected future, the government is replacing the outdated manual systems with a streamlined digital framework. To news now on the international scene, Donald Trump cancelled a planned trip by U.S. officials to Pakistan for talks on the Iran war on Saturday, shortly after Tehran's delegation had left Islamabad. The U.S. president said Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner would be wasting too much time, adding that if Iran wanted to talk, all they have to do is call. Earlier, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi held talks with mediator Pakistan, saying afterwards he had shared Iran's position on ending the war, but was yet to see whether the U.S. was truly serious about diplomacy. Diplomatic efforts have stalled despite Trump's extension of a ceasefire that had been due to expire on the 22nd of April to allow talks to continue. Both sides have been locked in a standoff over the Strait of Hormuz, with Iran restricting passage through the key shipping route in the wake of the US and Israel commencing strikes in February, as well as over Tehran's nuclear ambitions. The US has since increased its naval presence in the strait, through which roughly a fifth of the world's oil supply passes, to block Iranian oil exports. The White House had said the Iranians want to talk when the trip was announced on Friday, but Iran said there were no plans for a direct meeting. Trump said the ceasefire would hold on Saturday despite hopes of another round of face-to-face talks fading. Let's now turn to sport, because pictures of Declan Rice saying it's not done went viral in the aftermath of Arsenal's defeat by Manchester City last week, and the Gunners have proved him right by putting the pressure back on their rivals in the Premier League title race. Aziz's excellent strike was enough to secure a crucial 1-0 win over Newcastle to move them 3 points clear of Manchester City in the opening exchanges of what, after the loss to Pep Guardiola's side last week, Mikel Arteta called a new league. And now it's advantage Arsenal after Game 1. And now for a recap of the top stories making the news at this hour. Man named in recent report as being sought by police in Portland denies any involvement in threats made against members of the force. G2K defends NARA bill, but PMPYO rejects it, calling for accountability and reform. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has issued a strong appeal to Jamaicans to reject the growing anti-vaccination or anti-vax sentiment. You can find the news on our website at rivernews.ai and on the River News app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at 5 tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned for more programming here on Nationwide 90 FM. Good afternoon.
Path beneficiaries. The April payment cycle is here and ready for collection. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to May 5, 2026. Be sure to check the Weekend Star on April 24 to find out when you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect on May 6 or 7, 2026. For more information, call Path at 876-922-8000-13 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. Path, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. The People's Ministry, leaving no one behind.
If me asleep,
a nationwide.
If me a walk,
a nationwide.
If me a drive,
a nationwide.
Nah, go over there.
Why?
Because you nah listen nationwide.
A nationwide, me say.
FM.
Tearing it up live. Turn it up.
It's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay yours bitch bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. In the deep, you have my heart the scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. In the deep, you have my heart I let it fall, my heart, and as it fell, you rose to claim it. It was dark, and I was over, until you kissed my lips, and you saved me. My hands, they were strong, but my knees were far too weak to stand in your arms without falling to your feet. But there's a side to you that I never knew. All the things you say, they were never true. And the games you play, you would always win, always win. But I set fire to the rain.
just how you live. Oh, take it all, but you never give. Should've known you was trouble from the first kiss. Had your eyes wide open. Why were they open? Gave you all I had and you tossed it in the trash. You tossed it in the trash, you did. To give me all your love is all I ever ask. Cause what you don't understand is I'd catch a grenade for ya. Throw my hand on a blade for ya. I jump in front of a train for ya. You know I'd do anything for ya. Oh, I would go through all this pain. Take a bullet straight through my brain. Yes, I would die for you, baby. But you won't do the same.
Beneficiaries. The April payment cycle is here and ready for collection. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to May 5, 2026. Be sure to check the Weekend Star on April 24 to find out when you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect on May 6 or 7, 2026. For more information, call PATH at 876-922-8000-13 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. PATH, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. The People's Ministry, leaving no one behind.
Don't touch that dial. Nationwide is live on your radio. That dial. Nationwide is live on your radio.